Hey all, this is Mr. Hammond, and in this video, we are going to look at the value that QR codes may be able to bring to your classroom and just the educational field in general. Now, let's start with just why QR codes. Why are QR codes popping up all over the place right now? Is that they are just so easy to use. So if you look at the screen that we have here, you can see someone trying to scan a QR code and the little link pops up. They select the link with their thumb and it takes them right to where whoever put that QR code there intends for them to go. So it could be a lot of times just a website, but as you'll see in this video, it could take you to a lot of other things as well. One site that I am particularly high on right now is what's called the QR code generator, the QR code generator.com. This is a free site. There is a paid version that offers a few more features, but the free part of it, I think, is enough. But there's a lot of things that you can do with this site, specifically the creating the QR code part of it. There are two different types of QR codes that you can create. You can create a QR code that is static, meaning that it will be linked to the exact same thing forever. So if you link it to, let's say, your web page that you created, your math, your science, your English, language arts web page, whatever it might be, it's going to be linked to that forever. But you can also create one that's called it's a dynamic QR code that you can actually change it whenever you want. So you can use that exact same QR code. And if you decide the next day that you want to change where that takes a student or whoever scans it to, you can do that. So that's a dynamic QR code. I have created some QR codes. So with this site, I'm going to focus on the functionality of it first, and then I will show you all the fun details that you can add flair to the, I guess, the QR code that you are creating. You can see all the options that are there, but there's a lot more. But let's focus on the functionality of it first. So this QR code that I'm creating, as soon as you access this site, you're going to be asked to create an account. And I believe you can create your account with Google. So you can see my little Bitmoji up there. I'm using my account. This is the page it takes you to. And notice there are several options across the top. So the first is the URL. So you can link it just to a website if you want to create a QR code. You could actually link it to not just a website, but free text, meaning if you want to send a message out for whatever it might be. This might be good if you are using a dynamic QR code. Maybe you want to change that message up each week and give students and families easy access to that weekly message. Maybe you want to create a sort of business card that you want to share out. If you're going to conferences and you want to share your contact information quickly and easily, maybe you use this QR code, and you can just allow someone else that has a mobile device to scan the QR code, and boom, they have your contact information. They don't have to pull out their phone and find their contacts and create a contact and all that fun jazz. They can just scan the QR code and it's there. There is the option of a PDF, but that is part of the paid version. You can actually link them to an app if you create a dynamic code. So you can link them to the Google Play Store or the App Store. You can start an email. So if you would like the QR code to automatically essentially open the email app on their phone and begin a message to you, you can do that. You just have to enter your email address here. So let's go ahead and do that. You can title the subject. Maybe this is, let's say, missing homework, or it could be a project. And then you can even start the message for them. You can say, "Dearest Mr. Hammond," or something like that. And you can add as much there, I believe, as you wish. Now, you can do the same kind of thing. Here, let's discard that. You can do the same kind of thing. I'll skip the phone for a second with the text message. So if you want a way for students, parents, or whoever to text you, you can do that here. You can enter that phone number and then you can enter a beginning message. And I understand that people don't like to give their phone numbers out, but there are ways that you can create an alternate phone number that could be linked to your Gmail. So it looks and feels like they're texting you, but they're actually kind of emailing you. So there are ways to do that. And then the phone number, same thing. You could add your phone number there. So if they scan the QR code, again, it would take them to their phone and essentially begin calling you. So that's some of the functionality behind QR codes. Let's look at how you go ahead and create the QR code. So I am going to show you the static version and then the dynamic version. So right now we are creating a static version. Notice that the static version did not allow me to do some things. I feel like it might be a good idea to just go ahead and create the dynamic version. You could always keep it exactly the same as you want, but you have that flexibility to change where you want it linked to if you decide to do that later on. But it always starts out as static. So from here, you would go to that left-hand menu, click on My QR Codes, and you can see some of the QR codes that I have created already, and click on that green New Dynamic QR Code button. Then once you do that, you have opened up some features essentially. So now I can maybe start this out by linking it to a website. Notice over here, I can actually add a picture. This is one that I've created or added already. So my little warrior head, if I were a math teacher, I could add maybe a math symbol in there or maybe something that we are working on in class. Notice there's a looks like a Desmos type of a graphing option there as well, but you can add pictures. To do that, I believe you go to the little palette that is here and you can add pictures from there. So you can drag and drop them into this little area here. And that's what I did with this warrior head. And you also have some other options as far as style. You have some options as far as color and many other little features here. So I'm going to stick with the warrior head, and then you will notice that you do also have the option to change the resolution. Might make it easier. The higher the resolution, most likely the easier for people to scan it. So we would go with the higher resolution. I believe the little badges here mean if you want a higher resolution, you're probably going to have to pay a little more. But then when you are done, once you create the link, you can hit that download button, it creates an image of that, and then you can share it however you wish. So you could add that to your Google Classroom. You could send it out through an email. You could create a flyer that you post in your classroom or wherever it may be. So that is it. If you have any questions on this or anything else with regards to QR codes, please let me know. Thanks.